This is a rundown on the best 10 most perilous places on the planet. These are generally puts you should seriously mull over not visiting when arranging your next occasion. A portion of the things might be somewhat questionable, however you are, obviously, allowed to overlook our recommendation and go at any rate. In this wrongdoing written, ex-Soviet Express, no longer does the administration stuff their Armani suits with rubles, however the vandals and criminals. The Russian mafia runs amok. There are a greater number of hoodlums than police, and a Russian is killed at regular intervals, averaging 84 killings for each day, in a country of 143 million. The core of Russian wrongdoing is positioned in the Republic of Chechnya, a district inside Russia only north of Georgia. Prostitution, Medicaid dealing, and underground eateries are self-assertively constrained by the Chechens. Outsiders are seized all the more oftentimes because of the higher payment assigned. Violations towards incorporate yet are not constrained to pick stashing wallets, phones, cameras, money, and physical ambushes. From superpower to third world nation, think tanks are starting to estimate if socialism truly was the remedy for Russia. For anybody heading out to Brazil, it's anything but a matter of whether you get robbed. It involves when pounding destitution despite everything, lives nearby fantastic riches in a nation that is riding an influx of monetary development. Be that as it may, with thriving cases of wrongdoing have additionally taken off. Road wrongdoing is wild in parts of Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo, and while numerous casualties are left safe, having a messed-up bottle put to your throat for your armband isn't charming. The rates of quicknappings has increased in significant urban areas. This includes being stolen, taken to an ATM to pay your payoff. On the off chance that you can't pay, because of portable innovation, your family is just a summon. Alongside road wrongdoing, composed criminal gatherings have battled against police and open organizations that couldn't be paid off. Jail riots are mercilessly smothered. Drugs and narco-fear-mongering guarantee regular citizen losses, and on the off chance that you endure all that, the piranhas are pausing. Any country portrayed as the assault capital of the world ought to be one to take additional unique consideration in spite of the fact that assault had demonstrated a declining pattern to 113.7 in 2004, it expanded in 2005 to 118.3 per 100,000. Another dooming measurement for South Africa is its dreadfully high homicide rate. The 2010 World Cup has reliably in the top 5 rundown of nations by manslaughter rate. Most wrongdoing is bound to poor regions, yet it hasn't halted gated networks jumping up all over South Africa and equipped gatekeepers ensuring well-off traveler gatherings. Cultivating in South Africa has gotten one of the most risky callings on the planet. The homicide rate for ranchers is 313 for each 100,000, around multiple times the national normal. Furthermore, as any place, sex can be extremely perilous in South Africa, where in excess of 10 million individuals are contaminated with HIV. This little, thickly populated and poor country has mammoth issues. A common war among Hutus and Tutsis destroyed the country somewhere in the range of 1993 and 2006. A truce was announced anyway. Most arrangements have not been actualized. Mass homicide and commotion rival ecological issues as the greatest cerebral pains for the individuals of Burundi. The rundown of killed pioneers is broad, and control of the country has changed hands various occasions over the most recent 50 years. Violations submitted by wandering posses and furnished kids are dangers for guests. Muggings, carjackings, and kidnappings anticipate, so you are exhorted not to stop the vehicle for keepsakes. Should you be harmed or hurt while in Burundi, you should be very much prepared, as nearby facilities have practically no assets to help you. While murder, assault and burglary may not be a major issue in this piece of the world, the antagonistic conditions are. Antarctica is home to some outrageous climate conditions, with the mercury normally dipping under 60 degrees Celsius 100 F and twists staring in at more than 100 kilometers per hour. Whenever presented to this climate for over 60 minutes, you will definitely pass on. Antarctica has no emergency clinics, no nourishment to scavenge, and in the event that you get lost, not a ton of expectation remain with the visit gatherings. In any event, there is a McDonald's at Ska Base in the event that you figure out how to discover it. This country has for many years been one of the universe's most deliberately significant and crave regions. Anyway, it stays one of the least fortunate, lacking and precarious. During the Soviet intrusion, the Red Army planted in excess of 12 million landmines in Afghanistan. Many individuals are murdered, destroyed, and injured every year because of these tricky gadgets. Following the Soviets came the Taliban, whose control implied ladies were restricted from occupations and colleges. In 2001, the United States ousted the Taliban, yet banditry, inborn contentions and medication-related viciousness has left the country temperamental. Suicide bombings are a consistent danger, and no one in Afghanistan is protected. The most deadly suicide assault happened in Baghlan province in November 2007, slaughtering in excess of 70 individuals. Did I notice Afghanistan is likewise the universe's biggest provider of top-evaluation hashish and opium. Somalia is a failed state known for its anarchy, corruption, lack of government, and starvation. Travelers are warned against entering Somalia, the self-proclaimed independent Republic of Somaliland, or even sailing near the Horn of Africa. Pirates patrol these waters armed with AK-47s and will seize craft and hold crews to ransom. Inter-clan fighting has claimed thousands of lives in the north of the country, while territorial control in the capital, Mogadishu, is carved up between many clans and warlords. Ethiopia attacked Islamic troops in Somalia in late 2006, resulting in hundreds of casualties and the internal displacement of thousands. Heck, if this place is too much for the Marines, what chance do you stand? Make sure your insurance is fully up to date. Urgency, demise and annihilation are synonymous with Sudan. Fear-based oppression is a pillar of this country, which has been constrained by Islamic military systems since its autonomy. A portion of the universe's most well-known executioners have earned their stripes in Sudan, getting done with degrees in vehicle shelling, rocket propelling and slaughter. Savage areas overflowing in the Darfur area between government-upheld civilian armies, government troops and nearby extremist gatherings. Sudan has been in open fighting with Chad halfway because of the Darfur strife. Since 2003, 230,000 Sudanese exiles have fled to eastern Chad from Darfur. In excess of 2 million have kicked the bucket during the two common wars that spread over the most recent 50 years. Alongside its depressing desert conditions, Sudan is one of the most exceedingly terrible places on Earth. Capturing is the principal stress in Colombia. There were 2,338 kidnappings in Colombia in 1998. Of the people in question, 138 were executed by their captors. Positioned fourth on the planet for murders with 69.98, 100,000 out of 2006, the mainstream targets are city hall leaders, with many of them being killed every year. What's more, obviously, who can overlook cocaine? Colombia supplies 75% of the universe's supply in gratitude to Pablo Escobar and the Cali cartel. Paramilitary gatherings have battled against the administration in a grisly clash forever. Indeed, even those working for the sake of good cause are not rejected from the craze. In 2005, 5 Catholic preachers were killed, down from 9 out of 1999. Colombia's lovely coast and tough mountains should make it a visitor heaven. Rather, it is among the most dreaded goals you can visit. It doesn't matter whether you're George Bush, Pele or Chuck Norris, you are not safe in Iraq. Despite its rich history and its oil reserves, it is a ruined nation that is racked with violence, despair and confusion. Since 2003, the United States has occupied Iraq, which has led to a civil war claiming the lives of more than 650,000 civilians. Al-Qaeda, Sunni insurgents, Shiite security forces, Kurdish rebels, American soldiers, Turkish troops and criminals are involved in a cycle of violence that unfortunately will not abate anytime soon. Improvised explosive devices, IEDs, explosively formed penetrators, EFPs, and mines are a constant threat, as are suicide bombers, who have slain hundreds. Kidnappings and random killings are reported with almost mind-numbing frequency. Since 2003, 2 million Iraqis have fled to neighboring countries and another 1.9 million in Iraq remain internally displaced. Depleted uranium used as armor-piercing rounds will poison Iraqi civilians and U.S. servicemen for decades. Truly, a hell on earth.